What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin, here with Meelz. What's going on, Meelz? Let me check my mic first.
Check your mic, man.
All right, my
Check
mic.
it out.
Yeah, we're
Your
good. We're good. What's up?
your levels are valid. Three things.
Okay.
One, I think my faith in Peacock and NBC has been restored after the Olympics.
They went in. They really did go in. I didn't watch a single bit of the Olympics.
You missed out, bro. Even just like to have. You know what's crazy from watching the Olympics, right? So we're heading right into it. It's on from like on your time 5 a.m. to fucking 5 p.m. all day. It's on every day, all day, right?
Yeah.
And people are just tuning in because Peacock is super fucking easy. People just sub in Peacock. You have anything at it doesn't even matter. What the fuck did I watch? I've watched breakdancing. I fucking watched pole vaulting. I watched mad shit just to have it on in the background, right? And now the Olympics are over, and people are like, "What the fuck am I supposed to watch now?" And I feel like the model of it's so funny because the model of it is essentially like cable, but I guess it's like more like fine tuned to like actually something important. But people are like, "Yo, I wish I had something that I could put on to watch while I just do stuff in the background." And I'm like, "Bro, we already kind of have that."
Yeah, I mean, what was dope to me was the picture, like the multi-picture screen.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh my
Like
god.
that part was crazy, and I was just like, I wish. Here's the thing: I wish I cared about the Olympics like that. I really just.
You'll care in 4 years.
Well, I'm gonna be caring to get away. I'm gonna be caring to get away from it in 4 years. It's gonna be hell. Like I don't think people realize the Olympics like wrecks your wherever they go. Like they wreck your city.
No, I'm sure.
Like where they have have you seen what they're doing out here? Like they're basically saying for those 14 or so days that the Olympics are going to be in LA because the Olympic Village is going to be where people have to go to work at. They're telling people to stay home and just work from home, or they're telling most places, like most offices and stuff like that, they're giving them, I think they're going to give them subsidies so that they can have the people that work there just be off for the next 2 weeks.
As they should. Fuck it. But also, like, it's gonna be Olympic Village in LA is nuts.
It's right in downtown where all of the displaced people and what I'm saying, the homeless people are, and they have not fixed that issue here yet, and I don't think that they will. Like our governor is like, I'm going to start taking away money from counties that don't deal with this. I'm like, that's just really not how you.
Nigga, they can start killing homeless people. That's exactly what's gonna fucking happen, bro.
You don't threaten to take away money and funding for people that can't get it done. Like that's part of your job too. Like
Yeah.
like you have to, like, they have to fix this. Like you have to find a way to rehome them. You can't just push them out to fucking Inglewood or whatever. Like you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's there was a large contingent of and if anyone doesn't know the story, like there's plenty of articles out about how we got the Olympics and how the higher ups they basically lied and said that, oh no, we're not going for the Olympics, and then pulled the wool over our faces and then said, oh yeah, we are doing the Olympics. And
Actually.
like there was a huge fuck the Olympics movement out here because of it's going to displace so many people, and I don't think it's going to bring that many more jobs. I think it's going to be hell on earth. Like I probably for those 2 weeks I will probably just stay in the valley because that's where it's going to be far away from all of that bullshit.
I mean, you get a ticket to the Olympics, man, and try to enjoy it. Paris looked fun. Like I don't know what LA is gonna look like. I don't know what the theme is gonna look like. I don't know anything gonna look like, but Paris legitimately looked fun. Like it looked like a great time. Everyone kind of like roaming around. You now with social media, you can see all these athletes like legitimately like, hey, we're in the hotel and like the basketball players are on the 8th floor and we're on the 4th floor and da 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 da. Devin Booker fucking riding around Paris on a bike and making vlogs all day. Fucking, it was fun. It restored my faith in Peacock. I no longer want Peacock like gone from my existence. I was like, you know what? This is fire. Like you got no hiccups. Great uh great broadcasters. kind of like everything was working, everything was moving for the Olympics this year. So I was pretty satisfied. Even at the end, fucking Tom Cruise jumping off of fucking the stadium and or parachuting into the stadium or whatever fuck ziplining in, which is nuts. Is that like what he's known for now? Is that his vibe?
Yeah. Yeah, that's his vibe now. Yeah.
Tom Cruise was the first celebrity where I was like, I might know too much about celebrities. When he jumped up on that couch on Oprah and it was covered for like the next like 3-4 months, dude, peak tabloid era.
But
I
what
was like,
what we're like what we're seeing now is like this is Olympics where a lot of legacies are like coming to an end. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
LeBron, this is probably gonna be his last one.
bro, he beat when they beat the Serbs, bro. You would have thought Brown was Rambo, nigga.
Yeah, like Tom Cruise is actually coming up on the last movie of his Paramount deal. Um,
Mm.
and you know how Paramount's doing right now, but he's doing
Mm.
the last movie that they did. You see the tweet that Paramount Pictures left him? Like it was a long twit longer about how great Tom Cruise was, how thankful they were for him. It was like a breakup type text,
That's
and
crazy. Yeah.
because he's moving on to another sinking ship, WB next year. But yeah, he's got like a 5 movie deal or something like that. I gotta fact check myself, but he's moving on to WB, and the next Mission Impossible will be his last for Paramount. So like that was part of that promotion and that rollout was for them to announce that it's coming out next May. So that was a cool moment. I thought of synergy. There was just a lot of synergy, like the Snoop Dogg synergy,
Oh, Snoop was amazing.
crazy.
When
Um,
Snoop showed up in Long Beach at the end of the closing ceremonies, I was like, when the fuck did he leave Paris?
bro, hey, the time difference, baby. He had to probably do that day all over again. He had to go back. Like he had to do that the whole day over again.
He was every bro. He again great. Just Snoop forever, just legendary, iconic. Maybe like really one of the most important celebrities that's ever existed. Like he's fire. Um, but I was really happy with the Olympics, man. It was good. It was good. Like even again, I'm not that involved in a lot of these things and keeping up with a lot of these things, but the interest and more importantly, the accessibility to it, like you said, the multi-screen, the fact I can just log on Peacock and figure out what's happening at what time, doing what thing, people on social media talking about it. I think it was a great success. My second thing, speaking of fucking Paramount, the
That's
challenge
the real Olympics.
the Challenge 40, baby.
Yes, sir.
Sponsored Raw last night.
So now you feel a lot better talking about it tonight.
Yes, I do. I was like, woo, we can talk about Challenge 40. Yeah, man, listen, I'm looking forward to this. They've been doing their thing with the promotion is all coming the last 2 weeks, which is fair. I don't know. But I don't know what the future of fucking the challenge is with Paramount doing.
Layoffs, mass
Yeah,
today. Yeah.
whatever the opposite of like doing your big thing is, like that's what Paramount is doing. Like doing your big one, like the opposite of that is what Paramount is doing. But no, the last week the premiere special launched, the launch special launch. It was a great episode, a great tour of the legacy of the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they, even though Coral will never come back, they showed that clip of Coral every fucking time they can.
I don't
Uh,
wrestle. I beat bitches up.
that was a bar, bro.
I feel
That
like
was
a lot of people say that, and I feel like they don't know where that comes from.
no, they didn't. Whitney Houston quoted that once. That's how I
Yeah.
knew it was out there.
Like they have no. I don't think anyone really knows where that came from. I think that's so funny.
I wish, yeah, a whole generation has been lost to because Coral's like, nah, I'm good. Um, but I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be Wednesday. Teams look great. The people look great. The speculation is speculation. So, yeah, you know what? This episode might be sponsored by the fucking
Oh my
Challenge
god.
40.
Well, actually, Paramount shut down their television studios.
Ooh,
Not the one that has the challenge on it, but this is so fucking dire. This year has just been such a shitty year for this. But like Paramount might not be here next year, which is crazy. Like Mission Impossible might legitimately be the last movie they ever put out.
I
Um,
can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
it was rumored that Sony would try and buy them and consolidate them, which is cool. But as we talk about the challenge, which of course, Buno Murray Productions, who is the production company for, and they're under CBS, I believe, and that wasn't shuttered today. But they have a deal with Paramount to put out the challenge. And me and you've been talking about like, hey, they should put the challenge on something else. I thought about this too. Why not connect the challenge with WWE more closely? And to your point, where we talked about it earlier, why don't you put the challenge on Peacock?
I mean, yeah, I'm a huge anything to get it off of Paramount Plus. To be honest with you, um, which no one watched. I think it definitely should be on Peacock, and I think what Peacock is going to do over the next couple of years is like really establish itself as like the reality television hub, not like as its forefront of things because they still got movies and shows and other like actual programming. But I think with the success of like Traders, with the success of Love Island, with the success of so many different other entities that it is, I think it'd be hard to ignore that reality hub. Um, being
Bravo,
Peacock.
the
Yeah, and
Bravo.
Bravo, and Bravo. Yes. Oh
You know
my
what I'm
God,
saying?
yes.
Like the Bravo world, Sandoval on the challenge. I mean, come on, like that's must see TV. I think they would combining them with fucking Vanderpump Rules would be the craziest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And yeah, and you get the library and all the other things that is sorely needed as well. I think it's honestly they should. I've been saying this for weeks. I was like, BMP needs to hire us to figure out what the fuck they're doing with whatever they're doing and
yeah,
how they're promoting and all the other shit like that. Because I know we'd fucking kill it, and just great strategy, great ideas, great everything.
people generally need to hire us for everything.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So, and here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so challenge starts this Wednesday, right?
Yes.
This is what I want to do. I want to
Okay.
do a quick recap of the episode
Okay.
every week because
Okay.
I got a feeling this season is going to be big. A lot of people are coming back to it. A lot of people are actually going to watch it this season as well. And I think it would spark some really cool conversation. I think a lot of our listeners watch the challenge as well. Um, we, I've always wanted to talk about challenge with you in this way, so I could just stop texting you about it.
I don't mind
And
the text, but it's just for us, you
I
know.
know, but I'll text you about the old ones. I'll text you about the old ones before text you about the new ones.
I love it. I don't care. I watched it. I have like photographic memory of everything that you talk about. It doesn't matter to me.
So that's what we're gonna do. We'll hopefully get people into it. Like the thing is that people don't know that they like the challenge until they actually watch it. Like that's how it always is. Like it's like I don't want to watch that shit, and you're like, why? Just like because they never know. They never know why
Yeah,
they don't want to watch it. So like it's actually really good. This season's got a chance to be a really cool turning point for them because they're bringing back everybody. It's got a chance to be really successful. I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So third thing, what? So I'm beyond just looking at Olympics, looking at everything, kind of like over the last few days. If you had to improve anything about WWE, about what they do, and they do a lot of things very, very well, but not from necessarily story, but maybe like business practices, marketing practices, something, or like reach out community, all this other stuff like that. If you had to improve one thing about WWE, what would you improve?
Oh God, we don't have that long to do this. I think that they need to start filming house shows.
Mm,
I think filming house shows is big because you
I
get
think
to
they were decreasing house shows. I don't even know. They probably could film them now, to be honest with you.
yeah
But
like
yeah, they're
maybe
definitely pulling back on them.
like that year they did Starcade as like extra content. You know what I'm saying? Like there's stuff like that. Like it doesn't have to mean anything, but it's like that's something that I might want to pick up and watch one day because I missed it and they had a really cool moment with like Liv and Rhea or something like that. That would be cool.
Hmm.
I just noticed that they don't do the cuts. Am I wilding or do I have Stockholm syndrome?
Cuts?
Like the camera cuts, they don't do the massive camera
Oh
cuts no
no,
more.
they don't do it anymore. Nah, fuck that. No,
I legitimately just noticed that shit, and I
you
think
just noticed that?
swear to
Damn.
God, I just noticed that shit a week ago.
You notice is 80 someone's getting punched in the face and there's 80 fucking camera cuts from
I
every angle.
like honestly, I think I would just become numb to it. You watch it every
Did
week.
you watch the Street Profits match, I'm assuming, and realize it was one camera floating around for like
Yes.
4 minutes straight.
Or the Braun thing where he picked Sammy up on his shoulders and the camera followed him. Like stuff like
Yeah,
that. I was like, wait, what? I was like, this is crazy. And it's like simple, but it's something I just noticed. I think one thing that can improve business wise, I mean, I love their social presence. I think that they're some of the best in the game at having a social media presence. I don't think there's anyone better.
mhm.
Maybe other than maybe like I think they even do it better than the NFL. I think the NFL like to be such a big league, they have like a really crappy like social media presence.
Yeah, and
Um,
just like I think because there's only really a few NFL players you can actually identify with.
yeah.
Um, there isn't as much as like NBA or even WWE where everyone is like you can kind of figure it out. But yeah, go on,
Um,
explain. Oh, I gotta answer the door. Explain something.
Yeah, so I mean again, like I think and to Mill's point, yeah, for sure. Like there's not a lot of uh NFL players that are connected like you can connect to like that, but I also feel like it's like humorless, I feel like. And if anyone just go to NFL like or like NBA has funnier actually no, they're all very like serious. I like my fucking accounts to feel like there's a human behind it and not a machine. But then again, this is the NFL and the NBA. What else does WWE do that I'm not a real big fan of right now? I think a lot of it really comes down to creative stuff. I think I'm starting to really get concerned about the amount of people that are getting signed without there being anywhere for them to go. I think that there's so many people that are on the bench right now, and I would love to see them do something other than fucking speed. Even though speed is, you know, they're getting their check, but
Yeah, yeah,
I worry about the amount of people being signed, and I think that that's a major thing. I worry about there not being a real international hub for a lot of their wrestlers to go to. Like, why is the Japan stuff not popping off? Why is the Europe stuff not popping off? Why, you know, you're signing a lot of Latin American, Latina wrestlers. Where the, you know, what's the room going to be for them? You know what I mean? There are just so many spots that are filled right now. How are they going to move people out the way when you have such big personalities? And I think their issue right now, it's a good problem to have, but they have a lot. And I think both companies have a fucking glut of talent right now. And
right.
for as down bad as the indies are right now, I think that like, you know, there was a sense back in the day where you could get hot in the indies and you'd be a hot commodity. I don't think there's too much of that now. I think it's really just trading. They're just trading stars at this point. And I would love to see them kind of work with what they have. I think like right now, what they have and whoever's coming, cut it off in October. You know what I'm saying? And like just figure out what to do at that point because you
Right.
guys have a great NXT class coming, and then you have a class of NXT people that have to move up, and we talk about that every single week. You know, I think they're doing great production wise. I think they're doing really good in terms of just making their world feel lived in. But I also
Mhm.
worry about like how many people are there.
Yeah, because there isn't like it's not like NFL or NBA where there's like essentially like a free agency season, right? Or like contracts go to a certain standpoint that are publicly known, and then it's like, okay, we have to figure out how we're gonna adjust our rosters to kind of like fit this thing. It's kind of like this big amorphous blob of like, oh, there's people moving in, there's people moving out. Like I've always felt like, and maybe it's a little bit different now, but I always felt like you coming up from NXT, but Randy Orton is still taking up a large amount of time on television, right? So it's like you're not really going to get the development unless you kind of like really move Randy to the side, but you really aren't going to move Randy to the side because Randy makes a lot of money. So now you have to continue to, you got to now put in more, you got to figure out a much more creative way to build this person within the next like certain amount of time, or else people usually kind of like fall off of them.
Yeah.
Like if you aren't, if people don't give you if they don't give you a reason to really back someone over a number of time, you're not going to back them. Like Braun had the greatest summer ever, and then he did it. You know,
Exactly.
right? So I think for me, I think what I would improve. I wish they it's a good thing that they do and a bad thing that they do. I wish they weren't so precious with all their IP to the standpoint where people could do a lot more collaborations, could do a
Mhm.
lot more things, and you see that they're doing it now. I'm looking at the I saw the Roman Reigns sneaker thing.
There's something
And
else to do in this fall.
yeah.
There's something
And
like I can't say it, but there's something
oh,
else to do in this fall.
okay. All right. Well,
The
listen.
pretty. if it went through, if it goes through, y'all should be probably seeing it in a lookbook very soon.
Ooh, okay. All right. Listen, little scoop, but not a scoop. You know what I'm saying?
It
You
went
did a little
through.
Meltzer on them.
To your point, I'm not. Well, I didn't say. Well, if it didn't happen, then it was. I'm just saying that, like, to your point, they're precious with their IP. So, like,
No, they're super precious to the standpoint of like I remember just working in my old job and I was like there's so many times where I would feel like, hey, and you know, I'm trying to like put on for wrestling as well and put on for all the things that I enjoy and all my nerd shit. Um but there would be so many times like I hit a wall
yeah,
because they're like, we can't do that. Like we need, or they'd recommend me someone to do it. I'm like, not really. Like, da, 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 da. I wish they were. I think the next step of WWE superstars getting into kind of much more of a mainstream consciousness instead of like a high level manufactured consciousness is to put them alongside these athletes. Like if I don't know if Cody Rhodes would ever wear New Balance, but you were Cody Rhodes standing alongside like Zach Levine and like Tyrese Maxey and like all these other people who are wearing like New Balance sneakers or something along those lines, or not just like Rey Mysterio and some random beer of the month. You know what I'm saying? Like build great things because then it makes WWE feel less. Hey, there's this wrestling sideshow spectacle thing
yeah.
and more of like, oh, these are comparable. Like we're athletes along with these top stars. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I think been Roman should be the poster boy for that, and then some, and probably should have been like years ago. But it is what it is.
They got the right mind about it now. They got the right team behind it now. They have like the
Yeah.
branding masters at Endeavor behind them now. So we're seeing the fruits of that labor happen. The Call of Duty deal is fucking huge. The Jordan deal is huge, and they're taking it from WWE as a household name, but WWE as an institution. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, it is something that is around like Disney, and I always think back to like Stephanie saying, and people said she was wilding, and we talked about this before when she did that panel, and she said we're looking at our IP like Marvel or Disney, and everyone said,
Mhm.
well, that could never fucking happen. I mean, you're like people are literally looking at it happen right now,
But
and
that's how you have to approach things now these days, especially when people are selling. Not just it's people are selling essentially the IP or like things that they actually have. Like I look at another thing like Pokemon, for instance. Pokemon's rebrand over the last like 5 years has been crazy. Like it's how they've separated themselves. I know the games still kind of suck, but like how they've separated themselves and how they presented all these other things. It's like they also want to be on the same level as a Marvel or a Disney or something along those lines. And you're really seeing like that branding. And I think WWE has been doing it a great job at it, while still over the last year really been also honing in on the wrestling part.
yeah, for sure, and I mean like that's why I like get at, and this is supposed to be things that they do wrong. We were talking about how great at marketing they are, but that's it's the truth.
Right.
Like it really, and again, we're coming at it from like we're both marketers, right? So like
Yeah.
the ring skirts and the Valorant thing that was wrapped around at SummerSlam and the mortgage commercial, like that was the beginning of the like kind of the proliferation of that. But like think of how much money they get for doing things like that. Like at this
Do
point, it's
you
like bottom line.
do you think because they've seemingly stepped back from doing it, they would like do these like fake activation things like Mountain Dew, right? Remember the Mountain Dew fucking match?
Hmm,
I
hmm.
don't think we'll get those again. I
But
could be.
I feel like the LED screen,
Yeah.
the character, let's call them character, the superstar is wearing clothes that are themed with the sponsors, things like that. Like that's for sure gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
Otis and
Wingstop on the ring happens. But I
like
don't think we get a whole Mountain Dew glow in the dark match anymore now.
Otis coming out with a mobile phone and saying, "Shit, I ran out of minutes," and then calling it shit like that. Like that's gonna happen. But I mean, I again like production, everything is top notch. I think right now my biggest concern is just like personnel. You know what I mean? Is that type of stuff. And um, I really and I also feel like again it's like the storytelling has been fine. I just worry that like we are veering into a wall of bloodlineness, and we'll talk about this later on in the show. But
Mhm.
um,
Mm.
are you seeing this Liv and Zelina shit?
No, but go on.
So Zelina said something about Liv wanting Liv or Rhea wanting, so like somebody said sloppy seconds, a sloppy seconds comment
Oh,
that was directed towards Liv. She wanted Rhea's sloppy seconds, right?
yo, why she? All right.
And and basically Liv,
I just seen it.
yes, Liv have responded, and then Zelina responds, and then Liv says she just killed her off. She ethered her. I hate to say ethered, but she ethered her. Like, what's going on?
My
Like,
thing is,
you have to see me.
this is a very like 2021 kind of thing. Like trying to get over on Twitter by being very very mouthy about a lot of things. You remember when they used to do it? It used to be like Athena and Jade talking about how one's a bad bitch and one isn't, and the reason, but you can't wrestle. Yeah, but I'm a bad bitch still, so like fuck
Mhm.
you and all this other shit like that. I don't see the. I don't know what it goes. It's well to a certain point, but I think once you stop um, promoting yourself and now you're kind of trying to engage with others to prove why you should be in a position better than that, I think that's when you kind of lost.
Yeah,
Like I think Zelina is one out of her element in this. No, actually not out of her element, but I think she's out of her.
she's out of her depth. Like,
Yeah, you're not there yet. Could you be there? Maybe, but you're not gonna force your way to the top. It's just not gonna happen. Not in 2024. Nah.
yeah, I
Like, you're not gonna Twitter trend your way to the top. Liv saying, please, I get a live mic almost every week, and I am the women's world champion. I am the show, darling. I'm sorry you can't relate, but maybe you'd get a mic a little bit more if the people in the arena actually cared about a thing that you did. But hey, you'll always have your Twitter trends.
like
Flat screen.
imagine Liv Morgan, who had that yo that theme back in the day, sunning you like this. Look how she,
Girl, you at home making your own vignette. Shut up.
bro, you at home making your own vignettes. It's crazy.
And Jade is like LMFAO. OMG live. Like Jade, move,
You can
please.
usually tell when somebody's not really looked at, like,
Listen.
like, because I feel like the women largely like get along, like for the most part. You can kind of feel it, right?
You
Unless
can
you're
you can
unless you're a bully,
see
unless you're a bully like Cora and Roxanne, which
my thing is with the women and probably the men too, it's just not as frequent. You can clearly see like the clicks of what it is. Um but overall they all get along and know what they have to do
like
for the brand that they're doing.
who would have thought that Bianca and Jay would be fucking with Ayla and Alba like that? Like they look like they really actually like be coming up with like things together. Like they fuck with
Right.
like like that picture booth thing was gold. Like I really enjoyed that TikTok they did. Like it was fantastic. But Zelina got to chill, bro. She got to chill.
Definitely.
Like she has to, like, for sure stay offline, get the Twitter fingers out of here, and just stick to her craft, bro. Stick to your fucking craft, man. But Meelz, I want to talk about the Roman return here on the free part because
Okay.
it's such a huge thing. But before we get to the Roman part, I want to talk about AEW contracts and
Mm.
one person in particular, three people in particular that are coming up and has the potential to be like three very big. And again, you kind of noticed that this was going to happen with Cody being the one that kind of opened the floodgates. Cody opens the floodgates. Uh, you know, a little bit less big than that, but Lexus King joins him a couple months after. Then a year after, you kind of get Jade, and then everyone follows in after that. But
Punk. I
Punk,
think the Cody Jade Punk is like the big three of like, all right.
yeah, that's the
You
radical.
Yeah, you show them like, all right, here's what it could look like. Lexus King is definitely getting more time on television. Lexus King got no time on television in AEW. He was
Yeah.
a dark mainstay.
And if he did, he was getting sunned by MJF. Like he was like
Yeah,
emasculated by him every
you're
time.
telling him about his dad and crack addictions and his mama and all this other shit like that. Like, so yeah, now he's better. He's better off.
So coming up right now, I talked about this on the War Report last week. I don't think this story had come out by the time that we had did our show, but Lucha Brothers, Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. It's already been said that they're filing a trademark for their names. There's a rumor this morning that Pentagon's going to be in Orlando this week. Of course, the whole WWE crew is going to be in Florida next week anyway, so it seems like that's going to be where they're all going to be doing all their meetups at now. But um, what do you think about these two before we get to kind of like and again, this is perplexing to me that this is a huge signing, but the last guy that we're going to talk about. But what do you feel about the Lucha Brothers right now?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't really feel much now. Uh, like,
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, how could they be like, we need to be in the main roster? And I'm like, nigga, like,
yeah, I mean, I'm not really. They're extremely talented. All right, so everything that I've seen, they're extremely talented. Like, I've seen their matches, I've seen what they do, but it's not like I don't think they've had anything where there's an actual connection to the crowd that anyone can write home about. I can't remember a great promo. Can't remember a great moment. I can remember great matches, which is awesome.
yep.
Like, you do the occupation of your job well, which is great. Um, but I still think there needs to be development on the other end of like, how do we make these characters make sense within the scope of WWE? Like, how do we continue to introduce these characters in a very kind of like original way? And I think, I mean, we see people on the shows, like for instance, Andrade. Andrade goes out, has a great match weekly. Now I think it's just now figuring out like, how do we make Andrade connect with the people, which has honestly been, I think that's always been the thing with him. Um,
And
but
to his point, like largely is putting him out there and letting him kind of do what he
he
does.
does best, yeah.
Yeah, has been working. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like, he's gotten reactions off of that.
right. I don't know if I think the Lucha Bros could you put them in a ring and they'd get extremely over? I think so as well. But
Yes, they look cool. Pentagon
yeah,
is one of the coolest coolest looking wrestlers ever. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like he's up there just in terms of his look, the things that he does, the hand signal, the all of that has always gotten over, and I think that would continue into wherever he goes next. Ray Phoenix is he's a high flyer. They're always going to get over, but I worry about him because they can't seem to get Dragon Lee right. So it's like, and that goes back to my issue before. It's just like how y'all gonna pop off a lot of these Latino stars? You know what
I
I'm saying?
think
A lot of
I
them.
think the difference I think the difference between Phoenix and Penta more so than Dragon Lee is that they seemingly have a little bit more of an edge and an actual look than Dragon Lee. I think Dragon Lee, it really really does stop at the good wrestling, and he seems like a well-natured person.
Yeah.
But maybe he joins them, which is what Twitter would say.
Oh no, you're trying to do that. What Lucha House Party again? You trying to do Lucha House Party again?
Lucha, lucha, lucha.
Oh my god.
No, but like, even if they can kind of even rub off a little bit of the edge on them, like, I think I think he's a very distinct look. Phoenix and Penta and all this other, I think they have very distinct looks. I mean, I'm also weary tag teams WWE, like, it's not their priority.
Yeah.
Um,
It is in NXT though, strangely. At times it is. Right now, no, but like it could be again because they have so
it
many
could
tech.
be. It depends who's part of it, right? Like, I think but either way, I still elect them to go to NXT than the main roster. Like,
Mhm.
I would take the time on NXT, and especially what NXT is doing and how they're about to like really flourish with this fucking CW shit. I would take the time to get it right in NXT. And to be honest with you, I don't think they've turned down NXT.
I don't either.
I don't. Why would you? You know what I'm saying? If they say you got to go to NXT, go to NXT.
Honestly, they need it.
Yeah,
They need
but
it.
it's beneficial for them. I can't see where they would fit in on the main roster right now, tag team wise.
Or what show? Like, you can't put them on SmackDown. If they're going to SmackDown, I'm like, there's an agenda going on.
Yeah, they gonna get bloodlined real quick.
Like, Ray is barely on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, he seems like he's not
Yeah,
on Raw every week. So, you know, it would
even
be.
if you put them on Raw, they probably in the LWO or some shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, the LWO is pretty much broken up. They're all injured. So, like, they're pretty much broken up right now for the time being. Anyway.
Well, I'm interested, but like also like this, I'm willing to see what happens.
And I am too. Like, again, you're able to do kind of the weird Lucha Underground ish stuff with Pentagon, and that's where he kind of was the most famous. Was when he
Mhm.
was doing that in Lucha Underground. So I'd be willing to see what that is and what that looks like. Like, I am a huge fan of what he used to do. I know he's kind of like missed a step, you know, for a while, but I think that when you get to WWE, it's a little bit different. Like, people start working out. They start working out. They start fucking doing things that they didn't do nowhere else. I know Tony looking to Punk like, you ain't never get buff like this with me, nigga.
Hey man, it's a
Exactly. Everyone gets
listen, bro.
Jade added 2 more abs since she left AEW.
Oh my god! And then I don't know. I don't want to say. I'll wait till the end to say what I have to say.
Then this next one, this is perplexing to me, and maybe you can help me like figure out why this is like the biggest signing, unless it's just the internet making this like bigger than what it is. Because this is like this screams, you know, NXT show in. It screams he's gonna be there for a while.
NXT, sure. Like
Like like does it not? Like, he's gonna be there for a while if this is where he goes.
he, I can't even. He's not gonna get Ethan Page. He for sure is like, all right,
Start from the
Obafemi.
bottom. Yeah, he's starting from the fucking bottom. We're talking about Daniel Garcia, and then there's been reports that have come out in the last couple of weeks that he has not resigned. And then there was a report yesterday saying that he's conflicted about what he wants to do next, whether it's staying with WWE or AEW or entertaining the possibility of going to WWE. Let
Who's
me tell you
putting
this
this
right now.
out?
Let me tell you this right now. He got he got written off. Let's just say that, right? He got written off for however
Yeah.
way you want to put it, however direction you want to put it. He got written off a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
MJF would bring him up every single week. In the last 3 weeks, he has not brought him up at all. Commentary has not brought him up. Daddy Mac Magic, whatever the fuck his name is, has not even had a promo saying he was coming back like he did right after that happened. That doesn't sound like to me that's somebody that's conflicted. That sounds like to me that's somebody that has not resigned and they're not putting him on TV because he has let his extension lapse essentially, and it doesn't look like he's going to resign. Does that not?
No. Let's take a look at this time last year, right? Edge has his big Toronto match.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got the contract sitting in my email.
It's a mailbox. I haven't even. I looked at it. I just can't look at it no more.
I haven't made a decision yet on what I want to do. Everything is just so open, and it was like, all right, I can see the jig a mile away. Listen, if they would, if they could, they would. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If learn it again, even with the Ricochet thing, right? Like Ricochet hadn't signed his thing, and suddenly he gives his notice allegedly, and he's written off TV almost instantly. These things, especially with companies like, there's options now, and it
Yeah.
works it works the other way too.
Yeah.
People be like, oh, there's options now. You can go to AEW. It works exactly the other way too. He could go to WWE. I think he has a fan in William Regal. He has a fan of other things. I'm just Daniel Garcia. He's good, but he's still kind of like still green in some aspects.
He's very. He can't talk. He's bad at promos, man. I just think that like this being the big one, like people are reacting to this like almost more than Jay, almost more than Jay. Like they're just like he's a real pro wrestler, and I'm
Because
just like y'all getting caught up in storylines.
you're right. No, because of how he's been treated within the AEW system. It's like, oh, he's supposed to be the next guy up, you know? Thank you. No, he's supposed to be the next guy up and blah 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 and stuff. I think they anticipated that Daniel Garcia would be the future of AEW. And then the reality of it is AEW's only future is whoever next big guy that they sign. They don't really develop talent in a major way. And everyone's like, oh, they developed MJF and they developed da 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 da. Yeah, whatever. But
MJF was pretty much kind of like a finished product when he got there.
I mean, he was doing whatever the hell he was doing 5 years ago, the same shit he's doing now. So
Yeah.
it don't even matter to me. But they don't develop talent like that. They haven't brought anyone from the bottom to the top.
Nope.
They just haven't. They don't know how. It should, to get from point A to point B, they start squiggling off to like point Y and point P and point other things and all this other shit. Suddenly they're fucking they're trios champion somewhere for 6 months and they don't know where the fuck they gone. You know what I'm saying?
Where's
Like,
Wardlow?
where's Wardlow? Wardlow needs to step out too. I don't know where he gonna go, but he can go step out too.
Or that loser Miro
I think Miro will be back.
in
I
WWE?
think,
Or
yeah, I think in WWE. I don't know.
he should.
But then the people are also talking about Ricky Starks, right? But he's in forever in conversation. It's like Ricky Starks, when his contract is up, um, one would expect that he's heading to WWE, and he's very much so leaning into it with the trolling because, quite
I'm
frankly,
tired of that. I'm tired of that. His whole thing.
but I think he's tired of it too. If I had to say what the strong was, it's like I'm fed up, and not necessarily from a anger standpoint, but it's like, fuck it. What they gonna do? Fire me?
But my thing is this, right? They're not actually protecting him either. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like as a company, like they're not really protecting him by like putting him on TV. And I don't think they ever have. And I think it's been clipped for him ever since the Edge thing. Like the Edge thing was it for him. When he sunned Edge live in living color on TV, I said, man, Edge want to call him something he never called a black person before.
I think I think there is a I think the Cody people just have it bad. Like they see things differently, they understand things differently, and they were treated differently by Cody. And ever since Cody's gone, outside of MJF, um, no one has really been able to really just a bit the way the Bucks and Tony Khan and think of business is just it doesn't align with the way other people think of business. So I
Absolutely not.
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't know. I don't know when Ricky Starks shit is up. He keeps it close to the chest too. So it's not like he's talking to niggas. He's not talking to niggas like everybody else is. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. The Darren Garcia thing is like this. It doesn't seem like he's coming back. And I think that it's so strange that people will report the most innocuous things about WWE contract. Like I've had to listen to Bobby Lashley's contract negotiation talk for weeks now,
Mm.
and I don't care where he goes. But now we're like, we don't get Bobby's conflicted. We get Bobby's ready to go.
Bobby's ready to go, baby. But they talk more in WWE then. Well, it depends. I guess it depends on who you be around.
Well,
I don't
Bobby
know.
loves Vince, like he said. He
Bobby
loves
loves Vince.
he loves Vince. He just
It was a little shade in that comment too.
whatever.
He was like Vince looks at stars or some shit like that. Vince looks at stars. It was giving very like DJ Khaled.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, I make music for people outside. Play on their radio. You hear it. Go to the store. You hear it. You know what I'm saying? I don't make the mysterious music. It's giving that to me.
Speaking of AEW, ratings are in the pisser.
Hey
Back
man.
down to 600K.
Hey man. Let me tell you something. It ain't really going. It's not going to go back up.
There's no way. The challenge is back.
I don't even. I think so. My thing is that I think the Olympics do affect ratings across the board. That's something that definitely happens. So the Meltzer thing, but I also think to ignore the trend over the last number to push the goalposts so crazy that this far back that in January they were getting over 800K, and now in August they're averaging 600K, and they're about to have their biggest show of the year, and they about to announce some other fucking show.
A stadium show in Dallas, Texas. Or Texas. I don't think it's in Dallas, but
I think they hoping everybody from every state shows up.
Will they even have anyone bankable enough that people want to pay for it? They've been in Texas taping shows at the Esports Arena for the past month.
Who from Texas could they get?
Not Mark Henry, because it looks like he's back home.
No, his son's there. He's sticking with the son.
So is he. Let's just be real. So is he. He's back home.
Yeah. Let me see. Texas wrestlers. They ain't getting no one, man. Shawn Michaels.
Thunder Rosa is from Texas. She's in
Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is from Texas. But they need draws.
They're gonna get the Von Erickson. That's just gonna be it. But I mean, stadium show. Good luck. I've seen them Grand Slam numbers. Good luck. I mean, I'm all for them making money, but it just seems like this is just a money sink at this point. Like
they don't know how to. They need any other company. I think would try to hire personnel to really kind of like change things around, or I think would see the ratings that you've hit record low ratings multiple times this year, and really think about changing the way you operate so it doesn't sink any lower. Like, I don't see how things continue to fall and you continue to lie to yourself about how great the shows is and how great your relationship with WBDE is. And Zaslav, you know, just in Paris with him, I was like, you sound like the biggest munch on
Thank you so much, sir. I love you, sir. I'm like damn it. They're like, well, he got to do that because that's who paying him the money. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
Does David Zaslav, does he tweet?
No.
Has he ever mentioned fucking?
But Tony got money. Why you begging David Zaslav? Make your own TV network, nigga.
Has he ever mentioned AEW off-handedly? Like,
AEW is going to be on Zeus if they don't get it together, bro.
I need him on Pluto TV, baby. Give me that free.
They are going to be on Zeus if they don't get this shit together, and soon. Because
Pluto TV just has 33 million users. You know, it's a great opportunity for.
Here's the thing: their ratings usually drop, and they usually don't come back crazy ever. So
it's gonna take them a lot. That hour-long that 2 weeks of the hour-long match in Blood and Guts didn't really save them either. So
MJF said, "Y'all lost, not me."
You're right. And I can't believe bitches would test my gangster like this.
You see what he said? He was just like,
does this pass the smell test?
Yeah, like what? Like, bro.
I was like, what?
Somebody who is he on drugs? Is he on drugs?
I was like, have you heard of AEW?
Is he on drugs? Like, literally, he says, tell me if this passes the smell test. I barged into a woman's locker room. I scream in the face of a 110-pound woman, and then I physically threaten her by punching a wall in her vicinity, and I don't get suspended. Does that pass the smell test to you? Almost everything that was written didn't happen.
I was like, don't gaslight me. Like, why are you asking yourself stupid questions?
Also, no one actually reported that he did any of those things.
That's what I'm saying. No one came in and you started like chucking heads and throwing shit and like assaulting women. Like, no one said that.
In fact, his biggest munch said that he walked way up the street. They said he walked to the Starbucks and did it. So he wasn't even in our vicinity. They said he walked to the other concourse in the arena where no one was. No one could see him except
one.
And punch the wall.
And I'm just like,
personally, I didn't see anyone say that he screamed on her.
No, I think they made it their best thing to say that he didn't scream on her, but he definitely wasn't happy, and so on and so forth. But no, he just made up some shit just to feel better, to act like it was a better situation.
He's crazy, like bro. He's crazy, like legit. Like
Mm.
this when power goes to somebody's head and they just start saying crazy shit like that. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody ever said
Yeah,
that.
no one said that. I mean, maybe people on the internet's making it up, right? But no one reported it.
Hold on, Rampage viewership a tick up from prior weeks. You wanna know what it was?
Go ahead.
219,000 from 209,000.
Goddamn,
The way
nigga.
that they report on these is
It's the
crazy.
it's the worst, bro. It's the worst. A
How
tick
does
up.
it? How is that? How is this a tick up?
I mean, it's technically a tick. Like I guess depends on whatever the size of the tick or some shit like that. But
Oh, okay. So I broke my arm, but my fingers are okay. So like what?
fucking did you hear Bryan Danielson's latest admission?
He got to get neck surgery.
You gotta get neck surgery, man.
I'm so tired of this nigga lying to us. I'm so tired of the way that he is presented on this show. Can I just
I
like
I agree. I agree. This isn't a star.
yeah, like you're a bum. Like you are now like the wrestler. You are Randy the Ram. Nigga. Like that's not really what I want to do or say. Like Undertaker went out on top. He went out like we didn't know he was hurt till the documentary came out. You know what I'm saying? Like the nigga went out on
Stone
top.
Cold went out like a G. He was
Like,
also fucked up.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate the way he's presented. He's presented like such a fucking dork. And like, maybe he's okay with that, but like that match last week with him and Jarrett, I'm like, you fighting an old ass nigga with an old ass steamboat, and you old, so you just look old on the show. You don't look cool at all. You just an old nigga on the show.
I'm like, to me, I'm like, why would you? What part is cool about this? Like, what's cool that you need neck surgery and you're about to go in a match, which is your final match?
Because
Is
the
it?
thing is, there's a carnal obsession with certain fans in wrestling that the only way that you are good is if you are physically deteriorating your body doing it. That's the only reason that people think this type of shit is cool. You have given his all, he will die in the ring, and that's why we love him. When in fact, I really just loved him for I talk about this all the time. That one match he had with Miz at SummerSlam, when he said he was gonna punch him in the face, and he builds up the whole match to the punch in the face, and he doesn't and he wins.
He
Like,
didn't. He didn't win.
no, he didn't. Didn't he punch him finally?
Miz got the brass knucks from Maurice and
Yeah,
punched him in the face to win.
But that was a great story though, right?
Yeah, no, that was an amazing story.
There has never been anything that he's done in this fucking company that's been that great. I reference that punch all the time. I reference that match all the time.
Not his peak was the first match. It
That's how
literally was the first match.
yeah, him and Kenny Omega, they did it. They said we're gonna pop it off.
We're gonna do our big one, and then after that, we're gonna figure it out all after. But no, it's like, to me, you want to present yourself as a star, you want to present yourself as a worthy contender, you want to present so many different other things. And I'm like, why are you telling us that you're like old, you're broken, you gotta retire, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do all these things? It's just not cool. And I know he's not cool. And I know he knows he's not cool. But at the same day, we're making television and we're trying to tell a compelling story as a contender to champion. And I don't. Swerve is just making shit up as he goes. Like, his promo at the Overrun, I was like, "What are you talking about, bro?"
Bro, why you did a pre-tape and now you're doing a live promo? Like what? Like who's producing this fucking show? What the fuck?
Yo,
And then the whole story is that you're gonna fucking lose.
like, come on, poor Jim Ross needs to. They need to get my man out of there.
They had, bruh, it was controlling him with a PlayStation 5 dual. Controlling him with a controller up there. Literally. He had voice prompts.
Bruh.
Okay, what is he gonna say? That nigga was being controlled. There's no way he's alive still.
I was like, Jim, nah, let's get you to the PC, bro. Let's get you some
Ooh, ooh.
water.
Jim?
Jim, listen, they
Oh,
give him a nice massage.
let's get him to Shady Pines retirement home where
He needs
he can watch TV, get Jello 3 times a day, and play chess. Put him in a
bro.
home. Sorry. Arrest me. There they go. Arrest me. I don't
There
care.
you go. They spun the block for you.
Before we get here, I wanna talk about Roman Reigns returning to SmackDown
yes.
last week. I saw an article that really pissed me off today. Some dork from the New York Post. That's from your hood.
He always writing some stupid shit. He's the one who wrote like Mercedes something could change the game or something, and some shit that wasn't true.
Cody Rhodes may not be able to win this very different Roman Reigns battle in WWE. And I think it's so like stupid to even say that because like he says the fans' biggest reasons to be behind Rhodes is gone. And outside of a feud with Randy Orton, CM Punk, or a match with John Cena, Rhodes could just become a player in Reigns' quest.
Like,
are they stupid?
Did anyone write in the year 2000 that, man, The Rock is really going to have an uphill battle against this Stone Cold Steve Austin shit? Like, I can't just see how he lives in Stone Cold Steve Austin's world.
Is it the idea that you have multiple people that get big reactions instead of just having one, and you got to keep swapping them in and out? Is that not what this whole thing is about?
It's exactly what this whole thing. SmackDown has SmackDown started off hot and ended hot.
Like Cody and Roman had comparable pops on Friday night. Comparable.
No, say Roman is bigger because we haven't seen Roman in a million years, but yes, comparable. Cody is still over. The idea that he's not over or less over or anything of the fact that anyone would want to bring up,
or that they would put him in a program where he would be looked to be less over than Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is just feuding with Solo Sikoa right now. Like that's all they're feuding with. It's not like he came back against The Rock, in which case I'd be like, okay, Cody, they might have to put you in this because. But this is just Solo. This is the perfect place for Roman to be because he's not feuding with anyone that would be over. Like Cody's feuding with KO, who ultimately they're going to have a fantastic match with. Cody has been batting very high in his matches this year. Other than the solo match, all of his matches have been fantastic. So Roman's got to get something out of that guy at some point in the near future. Cody don't got to worry about that no more. Is it the idea that you're getting Cody away from the bloodline, which is what we wanted, and you're doing the Roman story with the bloodline, which is what they wanted, and ultimately will lead to something big down the line?
Mm-hmm.
How does this hurt? Like I let me be clear. I thought the segment was a home run. Roman don't need to talk yet because you need to make it a big deal when he finally does talk. And they need to set up whatever's going on because it's seeming like they're not going to Berlin. Is that what you're feeling? Is that you feel what they're putting down?
Roman is not going to Berlin.
Yeah, I feel like he's not going.
Maybe the bloodline goes to Berlin. I'm not sure where that tag team title match is supposed to happen. But Roman is not going to Berlin. No.
He's not going to Berlin. So I thought the segment was a home run. I thought he looked like a fucking star. I think that, like, again, him mixing the tribal chief thing and turning it into a babyface persona is something that I think the fans have been ready. They've been ready to cheer him for so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have been ready to cheer him. And the fans already love Cody. The only reason they booed, did people not realize the only reason they booed Roman is because they were going against Cody? That doesn't mean that they're going to say, okay, we don't fuck with Cody no more now that he's a babyface. That's just not how it works at all. Now you're mixing the fan bases in a positive way where they're both going to keep buying merch and shit, and they don't have a reason to boo Cody and they don't have a reason to boo Roman. They love them both. It's like when Sub-Zero and Scorpion finally put aside their differences and work together.
When Johnny Bananas and Wes.
Johnny Bananas and Wes in Total Madness. Yes, I'm watching that season right now. This is like a superhero team up. It's Batman and Superman teaming up. Like I don't get that you don't put one against the other. That makes no sense to me. What do you think, Meelz?
No, New York Post fucking sucks. That's what I think. And I think just the argument of it, yeah, again, it lacks. You're not really paying attention to what's going on. You're really just formulating whatever narrative is popping into your head from this. And I think a lot of people online end up doing these things because they feel like there's a certain way things should go. And maybe that's based on how things have gone before. But realistically, when you look at the standpoint, given how much they prioritize Cody, given how much they prioritize Roman, there's never going to be a point where they sacrifice one for the other. That's just stupid. I mean, they try to do it this year. I don't
Yeah.
know what they're going to hit Cody with a car or what the fuck they were supposed to do. But even realize that the people turned against that. Like, use your brain. Like, come on, man. People are stupid, man.
I hate it. I hate it. I mean, where do we see this going? Roman, he's firmly back in. Do you see Jimmy and them coming back this month, next month? Paul was there. There was a picture he was spotted by behind the scenes of SmackDown.
I don't think that picture was supposed to come out.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure that picture was not
this,
supposed to come
so
out.
this is why The Rock has to approve his pictures and shit. But yeah, I think they're gonna be back soon. I think they will. I'm hoping very, very soon.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. Is there anything else, Meelz?
You know, I was thinking about saving this for Patreon, but then I
Oh,
was
wait a
like,
minute. Before you do that, Tony Khan is just announced. He's just announced. Okay.
he's just announced.
For the title versus career match. Hold on. This just gave me like cataracts.
Oh,
Before the
the
title,
opposite of chills.
before the title versus career match versus, before the title versus career match versus AEW champion Swerve at AEW All In. Read that 3 times fast. That's a bad sentence, by the way. Shouldn't it be against?
He doesn't fucking.
Uh, he tagged Wembley Stadium. We look back at Bryan Danielson's career tomorrow. Bryan Danielson video. Good Riddance, Time of Your Life by Green Day. Tomorrow on Wednesday night, AEW Dynamite. So there you go, bro. He paid an untold sum of money to clear that song.
Apparently, at some point, Brian, I'm literally looking at the comment under it. Because it says, man, TK really listens and cares about his employees' feelings. It is such a kind gesture to play Time of Your Life. Because at some point, Bryan Danielson said he wants Good Riddance by Green Day to be played at his funeral.
Is that not the same? That's not the same.
Time of Your Life. It's Time of Your Life. Yes. That's really hard. I like Time of Your Life. That's not a bad one. If I had to think more about it,
Why are they doing this?
I don't, because is he supposed to die? Like, what the fuck?
It's just so weird. Just the way that they're pushing this is so weird. It really is weird. Like now they're trying to be like, okay, we got to outdo John Cena. I'm gonna tell you what, brother. I'm gonna tell you what, my brother.
When
That
John
John
Cena,
Cena shit,
when they get fucking Phil Collins.
bruh. I can feel it down in here tonight. I've been waiting for it. Now they hit the piano. My time is now. Din, 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 din.
Oh my god!
And they're gonna have Skylar Gray. Your time is up. My time is now.
Oh my god! I'm glad we're having a great time on this episode.
What is the other song? Feel it in the air. Tell it me to listen. I'm invincible. What's that song? It's not Imagine Dragons. You know the song I'm talking about.
Feel it in the air. Hold on.
There's a voice that's telling me to listen.
There's a voice that's telling me to listen.
It's that weird, like it's that weird song. I don't know. Like, is it unstoppable? Somebody's gonna fucking
Machine Gun Kelly, Invincible.
yes. You're gonna play that one.
How did you remember that? Featuring Esther Dean. If you need to know if that song wasn't 2012 enough for you,
Bro, they about to go in, bruh. They about to have Jelly Roll make an original song.
Mm.
They're gonna make a nigga cry next WrestleMania, boy. They're gonna make a nigga cry, all right?
Listen, hey man, and Bryan Danielson might be there. Who knows?
That nigga ain't gonna be there, bro. They ain't gonna do that. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. We're gonna talk about SmackDown and Raw over on the Patreon. So until next week, I believe that Quan returns to the War Report this week. So Quan and Cyrus will be tag team back again. Shout out to Quan. Welcome back, brother. Thank you for ending my night's watch of this terrible fucking show.
Right on time for the challenge too. It
I
was great
know.
timing overall.
I know. I'm gonna eat dinner and then watch the challenge because I can't miss a moment because niggas is gonna spoil it. But thank you guys for listening to the A Show. For Meelz, I am Justin. We'll see you guys next week on the A Show. Peace.